afternoon or good morning, whichever the case may be. This is Miss Bonnie here, and I'm here to do another STEM Junior monthly program with you. Before I get started, I want to mention to everybody that on a monthly basis, we are going to be sending a take and make STEM kit home. You actually have to register every month for that particular program. Sort of like our art program, we send the supplies home with you as well as instructions, and we often will do a YouTube video to kind of tell you what to do with that STEM kit. So I'm very excited about that, and that's currently something else that we're going to be doing going forward. But today we're here doing our STEM Junior video, and I'm going to start with fairly simple experiment, and it's probably better to say it's a puzzle, okay? It's more like we need to solve a problem. And part of STEM in general, or the world that we live in, is we try to solve problems. And sometimes we look at the problem and say, oh gosh, I can't figure that one out. That's really way too hard. Well, in this case, if you think about it a little bit, it shouldn't be as hard as you might think, okay? So what I did was I took 6 glasses. Now, believe me, it does not matter the size of the glass, okay? It's just that I don't have 6 of the same size glass, so I had to use different ones. And actually I have 3 plastic ones and 3 glass ones. But in any event, I have 6 of them here, and I'm going from my left. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of those 6, the first 2 are empty glasses. The 3rd glass has got water in it. The 4th glass has water in it. The 5th glass has water in it. And the 6th glass has no water in it, just like the first 2. Now, if I were to ask you, I'm going to ask you to rearrange these glasses so that it will actually be 1 full, 1 empty, 1 full, 1 empty, 1 full, and 1 empty. But you can only move 1 glass in order to do that. So you got to think about that. How would I want to do that? I'm not giving you any other pieces of advice or guidelines or what you absolutely have to do or what you absolutely can't do. So let's think about it. Be creative and think, how can I make this happen? Because right now I have water in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But now I'm being asked to have it in the 1st, the 3rd, the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th, okay? So here's what I decided to do. First of all, I might have said, oh, I'm gonna move this empty one and I'm gonna put it over here and then it'll be even. Well, that's not the case. That isn't gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is take that 4th glass, and the 4th glass has water in it, okay? It's got water in it. And now what I want to do is I want to take the water from the 4th glass and I want to put it in the 1st glass. Nobody said I couldn't do that, so basically I'm only touching this glass.
Miss Bonnie's sneaky.
I'm only touching this 1 glass, and I can make that change. And here we go. I'm putting the water in the empty glass, which is glass number 1. Putting the 4th one back. Okay, what do I have? I have a full, I have an empty, a full, an empty, a full, and an empty. No miracle. I didn't do anything crazy, right? All I did was take water out of that 4th one, put it in the 1st one. You ought to play this one on one of the adults in your house, because I think you'll get a kick out of it to see how they do. So that's our first experiment. Remember, it's solving a problem. And our world is filled with problems, whether it's energy problems or anything else, and we want to fix it, okay? We want to solve it. And what is the easiest way of solving it? And the quickest way, because basically that's really the quickest way. Okay, so we've got a couple of other really very simple ones, one of which I'm actually, in fact, I may need two times to get help from Miss Meg. But I'd like Miss Meg to come over here, because what we're going to do is, this is actually called the pressing problem. And actually, maybe we can do it this way, so that we can do this so the camera can see us. so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put my fists on top of each other. And your thumbs could be out like that, that's okay. And I'm gonna go like this. So I have one side here, one side here. And I'm gonna press as hard as I possibly can to keep those fists together. And what I'm gonna ask Miss Meg to do is to take these fingers, okay? And what she's gonna do is on this side, she's gonna use one, and on this side, she's gonna, but now I'm really trying hard not to let her move my fingers or my fists.
So I'm gonna just press?
Press.
Oh. That was easy.
Wasn't that easy? We're gonna do that again. And believe me, I'm not doing this on purpose. My hands are as tight, you can see, they're as tight as they possibly can be. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, go ahead.
Huh.
Okay, so the reason why this works, because the force in the up and down direction that I'm holding those fists, okay, are really holding it this way, okay? I can't exert anything going sideways because I've taken that whole force from my wrist and going like this with it. So all it takes is something very simple as a light touch on the sideways view, okay, and your hand's gonna separate. I guarantee you that that's gonna work. So again, try it with someone else in your house, because I think you're gonna get a kick out of seeing that you're trying your darndest to keep that tight, and it takes nothing. Take your youngest little brother or little sister and ask them to do it, and I guarantee you your wrists will move. Okay. I like doing these body ones because these are really cool. I get a kick out of doing these body ones. So now I've got one, a very simple one, and I'm actually, Miss Meg, I'm gonna move over to this chair. That way you can see me. And this one is called Body Balance. If you saw the stem from last month, I did one where we leaned against the wall. I tried it, and even Miss Meg tried it, and we couldn't get away from the wall. This is kind of similar. And what you need to do is you need to sit in a chair, just up like this with your back straight in the chair and your feet down on the ground, okay? The other thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put your arms straight to your side. So here I am, my arms are straight to the side, my feet are flat on the ground, and my back is as straight as it can be. I want to stand up. Can't put my hands on the chair. I can't lean forward like this. I have to try to get up from, from that straight position, and I can't move. And I'm going to ask Miss Meg to come over here and let her try it.
All right, my feet are flat.
Feet are flat, hands are against, yep, hands are down straight, and your body is straight in the chair. It's impossible to get straight up without leaning forward, okay? Because where is your center of gravity, okay? Your center of gravity is over the chair, and so to shift that to get up, you would have to move your body forward more to shift the gravity. Very simple experiment to try also. So I have such fun doing these body ones. Now I have another one that's fairly simple, and I may need the help of Miss Meg again, because we need a tape measure. That's all we need for this. Now if you wanted a piece of paper and a pencil, that'd be okay too, to take the measurements. But I'm going to give you an example that your whole body relates to each other, different aspects of your body. Good example is, for the most part, your eyebrows are the same level as the top of your ears. So kind of take your hands with your eyebrows and go straight across. Now, if you're an adult, it's pretty much right on. As children, we grow in spurts and so forth, so it may not be exactly the same, but do that. And then the other thing you can do is take the bottom of your ear. And your bottom of your ear should line up with your nose, with the bottom of your nose. So everything is symmetrical on your body. Another good example, and there's different ones that you could do, but I'm going to actually measure. And this is where I think Miss Meg can give me a hand. Because we're going to measure from the shoulder to my elbow, okay?
14.
14. Okay, so now we're going to go from my elbow to my wrist.
Well, to your fingers, it's 14, but to your wrist, it's 10.
Okay, so let's try this again from here then and go straight up.
Still 14 there.
Hmm.
You got, but their whole hand is 14.
Yeah, and yet it says to your wrist, so that's,
Try mine.
yep. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go from your shoulder. You're about 14 and a half, 14 and 3/4. Ooh, that one, yeah, so that's interesting.
What if you do fingertips? Does it go about the same to the pinky? Huh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, so that's a good example of how things could be a little bit different. Because basically, then you also take your elbow. You can actually go with your elbows. Remember, your elbows are here, okay? Put your elbows down against your sides. And kind of, everybody has a little belly button, okay? Also known as navel. If you take where your elbows are on the side of you and either put a measuring tape or draw a line in your own mind, you don't have to do it across your body, you're going to see that your belly button is just about right between the two elbows. It's not down here, it's not up here, it's right where your elbows are. And you can see that's where your belly button. So your whole body should be symmetrical in some way. All right, we got one more, and this one is a fun one. It's going to take a minute to set up, and I will give you fair warning that it actually asks for a jar with a cover, and I usually think of a jam jar or jelly jar or something like that. And of course, I didn't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this other one. I'm going to try using this. Can't guarantee it's going to work, but we're going to try it. And the way this works, what I'm going to try to do is I want to put a cloud in this jar. I actually want to make a cloud in here. And there's only a very few things that you need to try this, okay? One of actually you need like a plate or something to put this on so that it doesn't get all wet. You're going to need your jar. You need a top, and the reason why I'm not sure if this is going to work is because it's kind of an unusual top with it's deep on this side and it's deep on that side. We're also going to need ice cubes, okay? We have the ice cubes, and we need hot water. So what's going to happen, and I'm going to go get the hot water in a second, we're going to put the hot water in here. Put the hot water in here. We are then going to turn the lid, okay, because the lid normally goes like that. I'm going to turn it upside down and put it back on the jar. And at that point, I'm going to put the ice on here, okay? And I'm going to leave it there for about 20 seconds. And then I'm going to lift it up very quickly, spray. The other thing that you need is hairspray, okay? You're going to spray some hairspray in the jar and then replace the lid with the ice still on it. And if this experiment works, we're going to see the water vapor that comes out from there. So I am going to, at this point, I'm going to put the ice in the top of the jar. Kind of get that going. Okay, and that should be all right for now. I'm going to get the hot water. I'll be right back. All set? So I have the hot water here, and I'm hoping it's hot enough because I actually had to microwave it to even heat it up some more. And I hope it doesn't do anything to the jar. But what you're going to do is put about 1/3 of a cup of hot water in the jar. Now I'm hoping, truly hoping that this jar is the right height. It didn't really tell me what I needed for height. So I'm going to, at this point, I put the ice cube and I rested it. I'm gonna rest it for 20 seconds. And then I'm gonna spray the hairspray into the jar and replace it with the lid. Let's see if it's gonna work. Now, yeah, we know hairspray does, you know, things can get foggy. So we're gonna leave the ice on here and watch. There should be a cloud that forms. I see some icky stuff on the water, but I'm not sure if we're gonna actually, oh, I am seeing, I don't know, Miss Meg, if you can, I'm seeing it really begin to fog up, especially around the top. Oh, can you see it? How about your little one, your little camera? Because if I look closely, I'm seeing it moving around in there. See it?
Oh, yep. Now I think I can see it. I'm really close. And you can see the condensation too.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So that's our cloud.
Friends, see how you can see it moving around right there? If you look really closely, you can see it moving.
It's actually moving up and down. That side especially. This side is a little bit, but that one is quite a bit, right on that side.
How cool.
And now I can see it a lot over here too. Oh wow, it's quite a lot. Now I wonder what would happen if we took the lid off. Do you think the cloud might come up above the jar? Let's see what happens. I'm also seeing even more of that condensation. There's our cloud. Pretty cool. Now remember, you know, be very, very careful with the hot water. Ask an adult while you're doing this. Make sure you always have an adult close by when you're doing these experiments. But this talks about how to get some water vapor, okay? So if you need somebody to get you the hot water and put that inside the jar, let them do that. Or they could put it in the measuring cup for you. In my case, like I said, I actually had to put it in the microwave because our hot water wasn't really coming out fast enough. So those are the experiments for this month. Please try them. You know, I think all of them would be a lot of fun. And this was the picture about the cloud in the jar, and certainly we saw as much of that as this picture is actually showing here. If you need a little bit more information on measuring yourself, different parts of your body, let us know, and I can certainly send you out the sheet with the different items on it, what you can measure. Sometimes it's a matter of measuring your elbow to your wrist to get your foot size. That was another one that was on there, which was quite interesting. So I hope you enjoyed our STEM Junior. Take care, and